This episode brought to you by Nicholson Realty 2.0, the Gas City Performing Arts Center, Chuck Sewer, Drain and Plumbing.
Welcome to Garage Talk. As always, I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. It's time to rock and roll.
Teddy, today we have Cynthia Wehr here with us. She is the Democratic candidate for Indiana Senate, District 17, a lifelong Huntington County resident. She's a farm-raised entrepreneur who built Wehr Into Flowers into a successful two-location business alongside her husband of 53 years. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Awesome.
A mother of 5, a grandmother of 10. You don't look it.
No.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Cynthia later became a registered nurse, props, spending nearly 20 years in surgery at Lutheran Hospital of Indiana, Teddy.
Ooh.
She is also the co-founder of McKenzie's Hope,
Yes, I am.
the Huntington County Child Advocacy Center. Sorry, my thick Mexican accent.
It's okay.
And has been a long active in children's equal rights. You've been an advocate.
Oh, well,
for
equal
how
rights
long?
for women and
Okay, yeah.
and children
Yeah.
and a child advocate. I just have been exposed to many situations
Yeah.
where it's only natural
That's great.
to take care of those kids.
Yep, that's awesome.
Teddy, I'm going to kick this off by asking the wonderful Cynthia Wehr, why now? Why run?
Why now?
Yeah, why? Or
Why now? Why now is the fact that we have out of control prices. We have a state house who doesn't seem to understand the working family or families that are in families that are one-parent families.
Yeah.
The children that are attached to those families, the hardships of navigating a system that doesn't give you the opportunities or the choices that you need to take care of these families. I will admit when one of the candidates from the GOP side dropped out, it was like an alert call. It was like, okay, hello. And I made a phone call to my husband and I said, so, what would you think if I thought about doing this? And of course he said, well, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So, no, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to make change. I don't think they're watching out for us. I don't think they're taking us seriously. And we have a state that is overwhelmed with school cuts, with high groceries, with fuel. I just drove into town, $4.79 a gallon.
That's yesterday it was $4.19.
Yeah.
So you can go
I'm
up.
overwhelmed. And when I started the campaign, I never dreamed I'd be paying $5
Yeah, I
a
know.
gallon for gas to go everywhere.
I remember when it was 89 cents.
Oh, I remember when it was 23 cents.
Yeah, but things have gotten out of control. Milk's expensive. Eggs are.
Groceries are, yeah.
It's almost caught up to where it's just as expensive, Teddy, to eat fast food and eat Texas Roadhouse as it is to go grocery shopping. It's dang near caught up to each other, and I don't like that because I haven't been eating fast food for a while, so I'm trying to.
Well, we all try not to do that.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, but then even people that try to eat healthy,
It's
the
expensive.
healthier foods, they're more expensive
well, and many of us are in food deserts. You know, we need to address that too.
Yes.
You know, we have a certain franchise that's in every small town now that's turning into the grocery store, and their prices are not what they advertise to be.
No, they're not.
Cynthia, you do know that Grant County for the past 10 years is consistently up high. Number one, even. I think we're number one this year in child poverty.
Yeah. Poverty level.
Well, we are number one in a lot of things right now, or number 48 or 49 or,
True.
50 in the state. So
Yeah. And it's shocking. It's shocking because I take
and
so
that's
much.
the reason I'm running.
There you go. There you go.
Love it. And that's,
Sit-
but like when you're out and about, what's the big topic going on?
Oh, well,
Besides
affordability.
right? Okay.
Affordability, cuts to the schools, childcare. Childcare is, we have people who cannot go to work because they cannot afford childcare. Childcare is not there. We just had an infusion, a promise of $200 million going back into the childcare. Going to give those vouchers back, and problem is we have 64 childcare facilities that have shut down in the last year.
Wow, that many.
That many.
Wow.
So if it's this pipeline of poverty,
Yes.
it just continually throws roadblocks into families that are falling through the cracks.
Senate Bill 1 was enacted to help people with their property tax, but that backfired.
Well, I don't know about you, but I got my assessment. We got our assessment, and our tax bill this year is the same as it was last year. And now we have schools that are having to have referendums
Yeah.
to get operating funds.
Yeah.
Huntington County schools have been consolidated now for 60 years. Okay? We need money for transportation,
For sure.
and
And that's what we're prepping for here at Mrs.
that's what you're
Wall.
absolutely.
And so this is a good segue. Like upwards of 100 school districts, yeah, have nearly went out and proposed referendums, but they're expected upwards of 100 are expected to seek referendums in 2026 due to the funding shifts.
Out of how many schools in the state?
There's approximately between 290 and 300 schools. That's a third of the schools.
That's a third of the schools.
See, my school didn't fail me right there, right? I figured that one out on my own. But that's a third. That's a third of the schools, and I'm shocked.
Well, and then let's bring, I'm amazed. Nobody's talking about vouchers. The shift, $3.1 billion are going to be infused into the voucher system. You can make any amount, parents can make any amount and send their kid. Indiana will write them a check for $10,000 to go to a private school. I'm amazed.
But they're not held under the same.
Oh, there's no accountability. There's no oversight. If a child goes into a private school with a voucher and then behavioral problems arise, or kids on the spectrum start getting lost and they get to be behavioral problems, or they get to be so anxiety ridden. So then what happens? Okay, if the private school wants to have them tested or helped or whatever, assisted, private or the public schools have to send the professional to the private school at the public school's expense, take away time from the kids in the public schools that need them. And then if that child would be expelled or kicked out of the private school, the money does not follow them. The private school gets to keep the $10,000, but the public school has to take them back with special. I have grandchildren that have had these challenges, so
Something's not right. So
I've said it. This will be the third time saying it, and hopefully it gets heard. This will lead to a total reduction of roughly $744 million in school property tax revenue over the next 3 years, starting
yeah, right now.
And in 2028, it's like 348
Million.
They call it the cliff.
Yes.
That's wild to me.
and that's because, like you mentioned, childcare. Okay, so school systems lose their funding for transportation. Okay, so what's mom and dad got to do now? Well, somebody's got to work part-time now because I got to get the kids to school. I got to pick them up. I can't work a full-time job.
No, like I said, pipeline of poverty.
So my question to you is, what's going to happen if you get elected and you get to go to the state house?
I love causing trouble.
I like watching trouble.
Well, I find myself in it before. No, I like to make waves.
Yeah.
When something's not right, you've got to call it out. I don't know what the recourse is as far as the structure of the Senate, but I believe we have an opportunity right now to put people who are going to question them. I believe we have an opportunity now to derail the supermajority. People are fed up. Yes, you're going to have the loyalists, you're going to have the true blue, no, true red, you're going to have the true red voters, but I honestly believe they don't understand what's going on. Most of the time you don't really understand what's going on within systems that are so large. They seem insurmountable, until you're right in the middle of it. And then you're going, now, wait a minute. When did this happen? Well, it's happening. And I don't know whether you saw the Facebook page from our lieutenant governor from April the 22nd about the band in Westfield. He literally declared war on public education with that post. You need to go out, you need to get the voucher right now and put your kids in a private school. That's war. And when we have this sort of structure, and sooner or later, the pendulum starts to come back the other way. And I believe that's right now.
Should legislators be required to show a long-term funding impact before passing bills like this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can you be a responsible legislator if you cannot show the impact it's going to have? It's been without regard. It's always on the backs of the weakest in the system. The cuts always affect them the most. Whether you're talking about Senate bill, whether you're talking about Medicaid, whether you're talking about cuts to education. We've got over 100,000 that are going to be leaving, are going to be kicked out of their Medicaid. I think it's Well, it's not that many. And those who are not going to be able to afford insurance
Yeah.
through Obamacare, I mean, they're going to be kicked off the rolls. They're not going to be able to have it. So that means, okay, when it comes to the schools, that means that you're going to have kids on the spectrum who have ABA benefits that will not have access to those because they're not in the Medicaid rolls anymore. So you have kids on the spectrum who have had someone to help them navigate education in their own way because it is individual. And they're going to be put into a school situation. I don't think the schools are even thinking. I'm not saying that they're not thinking about it, but I don't think they're prepared for the influx of kids that are going to lose their ABA benefits. And I don't think we have the assistance in the schools. I just don't think we have it.
In your mind, are the schools being slowly pushed towards failure by limiting their funding growth?
Well, if you're being choked off, I'm not ridiculing the schools by any means.
No.
I'm just saying it's reality. We have to stand up for public education. We have to. This is our last great resource. It is beyond my comprehension how we can attempt to dumb everything down.
If elected and you get in there and you make a change to this bill, what replaces it?
Where does the money come from?
Yeah.
I think we go back and we revisit the voucher program. The fact that it went universal. Anytime you award taxpayer money to a private entity with no oversight, anytime you do that, it's wrong. I just don't believe that we should be writing blank checks to private schools. If we have to tweak as a compromise, if we would have to revisit it, well, it would be revisited. If we have to tweak it, if we just have to tame it back, roll it back to begin with as a compromise, then that's the route. But I look at our educators and I don't understand why I don't understand the cultural movement against public education. I don't understand it.
Very, very, it's strange. Like you said, it's a sad world that our kids and grandkids are going to grow up in.
Well, I think about my grandkids.
I'm scared for that.
I think about my grandkids, and they are a product of their environment, but they come with challenges.
Oh, yeah, every one of them.
Every one of them come with challenges. I mean, great for those kids. Mm-hmm. Great, one thing I didn't mention in my bio was that I work with the show choirs of Huntington North High School. I work with varsity singers and I work with Viking Volume. I am the costumer. And I've done this since my kids, well, I started out as, a show choir mom, and
As one does.
As one does.
As one
and lo and behold, guess what? I can sew.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, guess what?
Yeah.
Cynthia's altering, hemming, which is fine, which I love.
Right.
I love. Mm-hmm. And then when my kids were graduated and on their way, I walked in one day to an absolute catastrophe, and the director looked at me and he goes, "Can you help me?" And so I started hanging around and making alterations. And then about 13 seasons ago, I looked at that director at that point in time and said, "You need to just pay me to do these costumes."
Yeah.
And so little by little, this year we did 120 costumes
Wow.
out of my upstairs.
Oh, man.
And I have a band of fabulous women who helped me get this done. And we won a national honor.
There you go. Congratulations.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
We just won. They were at Heart of America National Contest in Orlando in April. No, wait, in March. And I don't know, sometime in the last 4 weeks. And Viking Volume received best costumes
Wow.
out of 31 choirs.
Man.
So anyway, I'm involved with these kids all the time. I see them struggle. I see them have precarious home lives. I see them persevering under some very, very difficult situations. And it's you see them struggling. You see them succeeding, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Under all the challenges. You watch the teachers that are so vested in these kids.
Yep.
It's hard.
It is hard. It's very hard. And you are doing the work. You're picking up what you can.
Yes. Yes.
It's very noble.
Well, I don't know how noble it is. But
Noble and admirable.
I love kids. I'm sorry. It's great to watch
Yeah,
them.
we do
It's
too,
great
yeah.
to watch them go from this 13 or 14-year-old kid into a seasoned performer at age 18. It's amazing.
They usually make a huge leap
Okay.
in their summer off, you know what I mean?
Yes, and they're dealing with hormone changes and all of this other stuff. It's and sometimes and sometimes you've got kids who really don't know where their next meal's coming
Well,
from.
yeah,
we
We talked about that yesterday, actually. Sometimes school's the best part of their day.
That's exactly right. Safest.
Part of their day.
Yes.
We're gonna switch gears here,
Okay.
and we're gonna hit all the hits that everyone knows and loves, Teddy. Data centers.
Oh, well,
Fact or fiction? It seems. I read this to Teddy earlier. As of April 2026, Indiana is experiencing a major data center boom, with approximately 36 planned projects adding 15,897 megawatts of capacity. Major tech firms like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are driving this development, with reports indicating between 30 to 50 new facilities that have been proposed or are in the planning stages. Is this economic development, or is this hurting local prime farm ground?
Well, it's not acceptable. Now, I will admit, we are on the verge of, technology.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it's going to be, and it's going to change, and it's going to leap, and it's going to bound. And if we can help further a better society with it, fine and dandy. But if we destroy our land, in the meantime, they're draining wetlands right now. They're ruining croplands right now. They're taking our water. These facilities will take the water. Yes. Do we sit on a giant lake, on a giant river down deep underneath us? Absolutely. But don't take it. Don't poison it. Do we? It's just not acceptable. The environment around it, the farmland around it. We have to feed the world. We feed the world. So what are we going to do when that's ruined?
Well, and that's, you talk about the wetlands and feeding the world with crops, okay, but there's a lot of hunters. Your wildlife is going to be searching for water.
Searching for what? Searching for an environment.
Yeah. You're draining the wetlands.
I made a post on my Facebook page, and it's been slow to take off because I was going to wait until after the primary to really start thumping around and talking to people. And I find both of my opponents basically, not even counting on me. They're really fighting one another right now. They're really, the ads are like beyond. But the fact of the matter, whether you're on a redevelopment commission or whether you've fought, Chris Parker fought along with the no solar movement in Huntington County.
Yeah.
And I would assume that he was maybe the number 3 man, and he worked very hard. But I also said, you take down one mature tree to put up a solar field, that's redundant. And the fact that we're still talking about 16-foot panels in a field that is advancing so fast. Why are we talking about 20-year leases on 16-foot solar panels? It doesn't make sense to me.
And
so then you go to this, then you go to the AI, you go to data centers, then they're going to use so much electricity. Then they have backup generators that run on diesel.
And that's what I was going to ask. Can Indiana's power grid realistically handle multiple large-scale data centers? And
we're not even close.
I've gotten to sit in on a couple conversations just as an observant. And I've heard people, and I understand it, Teddy, where I understand both sides. I grew up here. There's nothing like riding my golf cart through the country and there'd be corn just as far as the eye can see. And when the sun's going down, you can feel the temperature drop out there. I've heard, hey, you shouldn't take away the rights. If a farmer wants to sell his land, let him sell his land. In retrospect, yes, I understand that thought. But they don't want just his land.
They want everything around it.
They want his neighbor's land, his neighbor's neighbor's land, his neighbor's neighbor's land. And before
and
you
their
know
electricity.
There's always a possibility that what if you don't want to sell your land and everybody else is sold? What happens to you?
Well, does it become like you can't raise your own seed anymore? When Monsanto took over with the farmers, how many farmers lost their farms because they planted their own seed? They didn't plant Monsanto seed. And now Bayer has gobbled that up. It's created these huge companies and corporations, these corporations that have taken over that answer only to their shareholders. They don't answer to anyone else. The monopolies right now, I don't understand where our antitrust laws
Right.
have been. I don't understand. Why aren't there more antitrust suits? I don't understand that.
You know, and that's like, speaking of the data centers, with the way technology is advancing, we talked about it. 5 years from now,
Exactly.
that was not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
So
And they pick up and leave.
And they pick up and leave. And how many of these projects even come to fruition?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the decommissioning on them?
We spoke about that. That's interesting because I said, why can't we have something in place to where if you're going to come here and you're going to, there be a possibility of an economic advantage for the community, but then you decide, hey, it's time to update the facility, and this facility is going to cost way too much to update when it's cheaper to build a new.
somewhere down the road.
Somewhere down the road. Don't leave the building. Don't leave all the garbage behind. Something needs to be in place to where, hey,
Absolutely.
if you don't stay here in this community, you got to take it with you and leave it as you found it.
I think that's the important thing. Leave it as you found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Let's talk about the tax breaks given to them. Because
and they're not even from America.
No, they're not, and therefore is part of the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's one shell company after another.
Yep.
how do you sue them if
You
something
don't.
does go wrong?
You don't sue them.
You'll never go to court.
ABC company declares bankruptcy, and then they become
And you have
DFG.
Yeah, well, and you have no idea where ABC is originally from. and-
Exactly. Shady.
It if it's going to employ people in the community, and I'm not talking about just data centers, like if big corporations come here and let's say Amazon builds a distribution center.
Well, we have one in Fort Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to employ, and they're going to treat their employees well, because I've heard that they don't.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
If they're going to treat them well, what property tax incentives will the community see? Because most likely they'll be TIF district.
Most likely.
They'll be moved into a TIF district. Then they'll get a tax abatement.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be, 10 years? The TIF districting
It's 20.
is 20.
20.
Yeah.
And it has one renewal.
One renewal.
So those property tax dollars and other revenue that was going to come from them won't be seen for a long time.
And it won't be seen. I'm not sure it will be seen.
I won't see it. If something was
well,
like
I'm
that,
sure I'm not
yeah,
going to see it.
if something like that was built here now in 50 years,
Well, like we said, it's going to be our children. It's
Yeah.
going to be our grandchildren that have to deal with this. What do we leave them? You really, really, truly want to leave them better off than what you were. And I don't see that happening. I was born in a time where, hey, that was the rule. You left everything better with your kids.
yeah.
How fortunate am I? But man, the challenges that we face right now seem to be, like I said, systems so large, they're insurmountable.
Yeah, you can't.
And where do you begin? Well, you begin by saying, wait, this is wrong. And if I don't do it now, It's not going to happen anytime soon. And another reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show those kids at that high school, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. But if you don't pitch in now, as you continue to inhabit this earth, if you stop, you can't stop. Right. You got to fight. You have to do it. Yeah. And if an old lady can do it, then by golly, come on, kids, come on.
Be a voice.
Be a voice. Absolutely. Don't stand for it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Before we let you go,
Okay.
we like to do rapid fire.
Oh,
just a couple questions. If you could redirect $1 anywhere in the system straight into schools, where are you taking that dollar from?
Vouchers.
I wish I had a ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Senate Bill 1 pressure test. That's what I'm calling this one. Be honest, which I think you will be. What's more stressful for a school district right now, TIF or Senate Bill 1?
Senate Bill 1.
You get one sentence to convince someone in your district, a resident in your district, that a data center is a good idea or a bad idea. Which stance are you taking? And give me that sentence.
Give me that sentence. Facilities such as these will only put stress on an already stressed out power grid. They will only pollute our earth, pollute our water, and we have to do something about it. Remain vigilant.
So that sounds like a bad idea for the data center. That's the stance you're taking, correct?
That's right.
Yep.
Cynthia, thank you very much for taking the time and traveling.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, City.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you.
This was a good time. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And good luck in the general election.
Thank you.